Welcome to HUM 1900 Introduction to Film Online. This course is 100% online and asynchronous. It does not meet on campus, in a classroom, or through Zoom. Assigned films. Students are solely responsible for obtaining and watching assigned films. JustWatch.com is the source I use to find streaming options. There's even an app. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ms. Kendall or Ms. K. I'm the film faculty member at the Royal Oak and Southfield campuses. What to expect? Since this may be the first film class for many of you, I'd like to explain what we'll do in the class. It may be a different approach to film than you're used to. Viewing film critically. We'll approach film critically and objectively. This means setting aside our likes and dislikes or initial reactions to film. It may be difficult at first, but the process will be very rewarding. How to read a film. Because we'll be looking at film closely instead of passively, we'll be reading film. As we learn the language and grammar of film, we'll focus on the formal elements of filmmaking. We'll develop the tools for critical thinking and writing about film. Aesthetic awareness, the general education outcome for the class. As we become aesthetically aware, we'll use film language in formal writings and discussions. We'll understand how film speaks to the viewer through its formal elements, photography, mise-en-scène, editing, sound, etc. Every picture tells a story. We'll be using a still image from Jane Campion's film Bright Star. The photography in film is designed to create an emotional response. Being aesthetically aware is a roadmap to understanding our responses better. Analyzing an image requires a close and careful look. We're given information about the subjects and the setting. Look at the clothes the young ladies are wearing. Consider their body language, the setting, how much of the picture is sharp and in focus. Developing aesthetic awareness allows us to measure our reaction to the image. We can confidently say the subjects know each other. The setting is rural. The time period is not present day. The young ladies are the focal point. Film is a universal language. Because film is a universal language, we tend to react to images in similar ways. When we're aesthetically aware, we understand we're responding to the elements of composition. Reading this image. This is a period piece, meaning it's not set in the present day. The shallow depth of field draws our eyes to the young ladies in the middle ground, in the center of the frame. Based on the body language, the subjects know each other. The dominant color is blue. Expectations about what a film is or should be come from our experiences with film and are largely subjective. Since no one is born knowing what a film is, let's consider how would we explain film to someone who's never seen one before. Imagine you tell someone you're taking a film class and they say, "What is film?" I know this is a stretch, but let's have some fun and use our imaginations. Here are a few ways to describe film. The celluloid that captures images. Film is a noun. It's a capture device, even if it's digital. We need something to store images on so they can be viewed repeatedly. The act of shooting images. Film is not only a noun, a thing, it's a verb, an act. A work of art. Film is an artistic medium. Perhaps we forget because we think of it as an escape or base a film's importance on how much money it makes. As we begin to view film objectively and learn film grammar, the images will take on a deeper meaning. In industry, film is one of America's largest exports. We export film and media worldwide. A historic and cultural document. Film can preserve time. We'll watch some of the first films ever made in class. It's the closest thing we have to traveling back in time. It's okay to laugh at how styles of dress and language change, but stop and think, what are we really responding to? Film can be a time capsule. It allows the viewer to investigate the past with amazing clarity and insight. What's captured in film is a representation of culture and society. What will film look like 100 years from now? Entertainment. For many of us, our relationship with film revolves around being entertained. In this class, we'll replace the word entertainment with engagement. Film in this class is used to inform and teach us something. A method of storytelling. Most students immediately say film is a way to tell stories with pictures. While conventionally this may be true, film doesn't have to tell a concrete story. Did you know motion pictures were discovered through photographic experiments with movement of humans and animals? Objectively speaking, film is often used to tell stories, but its roots are in photography and documentation, not storytelling. A text to be analyzed. As film critics, we'll move further away from judging films based on our opinions and towards analyzing film through a framework with a set of criteria. Films are often called texts inside the world of film criticism. This image of Marilyn Monroe from The 7-Year Itch is iconic. It can be analyzed for its historical, cultural, and aesthetical content. Great job so far. Let's continue our lesson in objectivity. I want to push you outside of your comfort zone and challenge your expectations of what a film is or should be. Avant-garde. Avant-garde film and art has a long history of commenting on and challenging conventions in traditional artistic movements. Modern, innovative, abstract, experimental are all words associated with this style. Avant-garde in French means advance-garde or vanguard. It can refer to works of art that are ahead of their time, or even trailblazing. Some characteristics of avant-garde film: runs counter to mass media and mainstream culture, encourages multiple interpretations, pushes the boundaries of film language. If you've never heard of avant-garde before, that's okay. Let's look at examples of avant-garde works in different artistic mediums. Shoes, fashion. These aren't just shoes, they're avant-garde shoes. These Alexander McQueen lobster claw shoes make quite a statement. While they may not be walking into my classroom anytime soon, a modified version might. Avant-garde pieces are very influential in the fashion world. Fashion, music, and performance. Singer David Bowie was known for his avant-garde fashion on stage. This Tokyo Pop bodysuit was designed by Kanasai Yamamoto for his Aladdin Sane tour. I was lucky enough to see this in person at the Bowie Is exhibit at the Art Gallery of Ontario in Toronto. Another word for avant-garde is experimental. These works are outside of the box and often have a strong influence on mainstream culture. Cubism, an avant-garde movement in the 1910s and 20s in Europe. Cubism inspired works of sculpture, music, literature, and architecture. Cubism is one of the most influential art movements of the 20th century. Cubism disrupts and challenges realistic representations. Cubism was very controversial and sparked debate in the art world. And on the left, you'll see an image from the painting Girl with a Mandolin by Pablo Picasso in 1910. Now that we've exposed ourselves to avant-garde art, let's move on to avant-garde film. Avant-garde film is often abstract and non-narrative. It's really important to set aside our expectations and have an open mind. Night Music by Stan Brakhage, released in 1986. Please watch this film. It can be accessed on the Avant-garde playlist on D2L. Despite its title, the film has no sound. Factoids about Stan Brakhage. Night Music wasn't shot with the camera. Brakhage painted images and scratched them into the film. Stan Brakhage taught at the University of Boulder in Colorado. The character Stan in South Park is named for Brakhage. The band Dogstar is named after one of his films. He's one of the most influential avant-garde filmmakers. La Jetée, released in 1962, directed by Chris Marker, is one of the most influential avant-garde films ever made. It's made almost entirely of still photography. La Jetée inspired the film 12 Monkeys and the TV series 12 Monkeys and La Jetée. Students cannot use this film as an example in the discussion board topic. Stills from La Jetée. This film is recommended, but not formally assigned. JustWatch.com lists streaming options online. After approaching film critically and learning about avant-garde, would we answer the question, what is film, differently? I hope so. Films featured in this lecture. Students are encouraged to explore these films. You can pull the PDF version of the lecture up on D2L to take a closer look. I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a productive week.